Hello everyone, my name is Vinayak and I'm the founder of ThinkZone. So at ThinkZone, we have been working tirelessly to provide quality learning opportunities to children by supporting parents and educators. We have realized that providing quality learning opportunities, providing access to quality education is a humongous challenge, especially in India. We have different stakeholders ranging from philanthropic organizations, corporates, implementing organizations like ThinkZone have been working towards making sure that children are getting access to good education, thereby supporting them to improve their learning outcomes. Uh, so, as a to bring in a collective action towards this mission, we have launched a podcast wherein we would be discussing these nitty-gritties, these challenges, and certain successes of different stakeholders who have been working towards this mission. In our first episode, we have the honor of inviting Mr. Pabitra Nayak, who is working as a deputy manager CSR at Coal India Limited. We would be delving into the intricacies of how do we monitor and assess the impact of different education interventions, different development projects, especially taken up as a corporate social responsibility project. We are sure that this exercise, this discussion, would be helpful for everyone, and we would be able to meaningfully learn from everyone else, including from Pavitra, to work towards making sure that we are providing quality education to children. So, without further ado, let's delve into the details. Hi, Pabitra. Thank you very much for giving us the time and discussing about your journey and experiences in the field of CSR. So, my first question to you is like, as an experienced CSR professional, what are the primary objectives of the different initiatives that you have been carrying on ground? And maybe you could share some recent examples of any programs or projects that you have implemented.
Hi, Binayak. I am currently working as Deputy Manager CSR in one of the subsidiaries of Coal India Limited, that is Mahanadi Coalfields Limited, and posted in Jharsuguda district of Odisha. And for the past 10 years, I'm looking after CSR activities. So our broad vision of CSR activities of Mahanadi Coalfields Limited is to complement the government's efforts towards nation building process. So primary objective is to align our resources and strategies to support the local underserved and underprivileged communities by making initiatives in the fields of education, healthcare, water supply, livelihoods, etc. I have been involved in various fields of CSR activities, so I will be telling you one by one. First, I will start with the livelihood enhancing initiatives. So recently, I was involved in a project called Swavalambi. Swavalambi was focused in giving skill development training in swing machine to 50 under privileged and poor women who live in the surrounding areas of our mines. So in that process, they were trained by certified trainers from USHA. They were provided industrial sewing machines, and now a Silai school has been set up in their uh, own house at their village. Through this Silai school, they can also train other women in their villages, and they can earn extra income. We have made market linkages with Ormas so that they can sell their produce directly in the market. So we are targeting mainly to increase their livelihood options by more income generating options. Second project I am involved is with BIF, which is in the agriculture and allied sector. So the project name is Comprehensive Community Development Program, and it is named Utthan. So it is being implemented in Jharsuguda, Sundargarh, and Angul districts of Odisha, where starting from livestock management, where they will be doing artificial insemination. They will be giving poultry services, and for farming, they are making wadi development where they can do multi cropping, and they are for irrigation facilities they are developing ponds, and they're also providing them solar pumps for lift irrigation purposes. And uh, and other in the livelihood sector, I am also involved in skill development projects. For skill development, we have tied up with CPET, an organization based out of Bhubaneswar, and also we are planning to tie up with NSDC. And in respect to education sector, I have been involved in the Mo School Abhiyan project of state government, where MCL has funded for infrastructure development in high schools of Jharsuguda district and Angul district, where in terms of infrastructure, smart classrooms has been built, and science laboratories has been built, and all the infrastructure and equipments necessary for doing science experiments has been provided. Apart from that, we have also made e-library. We have developed the playground, provided drinking water facilities, developed garden, etc. We also do other education related initiatives in terms of infrastructure development at local level, where the need is to be assessed from the school itself. Some in some schools we have built additional classrooms because the old classrooms are in dilapidated condition and they cannot accommodate the entire students over there. So we built additional classrooms, boundary wall. We have provided drinking water facility over there. And apart from this, right, recently we are doing another smart class solution project in schools for targeting students from 6th standard to 8th standard. As you know that in rural areas, internet connectivity is a problem, and sometimes the smart classrooms fail because of this internet connectivity. So we have designed this project in such a manner that there is no need of internet connectivity. The syllabus, entire syllabus, in multiple languages, in Odia, Hindi, and English, it is already embedded in our smart class solution. So without internet connectivity, people can easily go through the syllabus. Apart from that, I have been involved in various infrastructure development projects in or rural development projects like construction of roads, kalyan mandaps, community centers, etc. And in healthcare sector, MCL has constructed one medical college plus hospital at Talcher, which amounting about around 500 crores, and then cardiac care center at Jharsuguda district. And at local level, we do village health camps. We do mega camps where we invite specialist doctors from government or private clinics, and we have also implemented mobile medical units which regularly visit the villages and they diagnose the patients. They give prescription and also distribute medicines for free. Also, we since mining sector deals with a lot of deforestation, so I am also involved in a lot of afforestation activities, where we partner with the district forest officials and we do afforestation activities by planting local varieties of plants and maintaining it for around 5 years, so that there is no wastage of plants. We achieve almost 90 to 95% of success in plantation. And also in sports, we have developed many stadiums and indoor stadiums, and also in village level, we are developing many mini stadiums by leveling the sports grounds, by creating sitting galleries, sports rooms, etc. So these are some of the initiatives I have been involved over the past 10 years.
So, Pabitra, your experience in managing projects in multiple sectors, be it livelihoods, agriculture, education, is immense. So, and you had touched upon this a little bit, but I just wanted to understand in detail uh, that, like, how do you ensure that the CSR initiatives that you are implementing are aligning with the needs and priorities of the communities you serve? So how do you know that there is this need of, be it in the livelihood sector, agriculture sector? So how do you manage to align your CSR initiatives with what the community requires?
Binayak, this is a very good question. I mean, very important aspect of a CSR manager, aligning our CSR initiatives with the needs of the community. Because every year, the Department of Public Enterprise sets a national theme. So we have to invest a major chunk of our CSR budget in that. So this year and last year, the national theme was health and nutrition. But then, since we are in mining industries, we are affecting a lot of local community. So we have to give priority to their needs. So and for that, we do need assessment, and in order to align the needs of the community with our CSR initiatives, I do a lot of stakeholder engagement from the beginning of the project until the end of the project. uh, I involve local stakeholders in the process, starting from the need assessment process. So we interact with local villages, the PRI members like Sarpanch, Panchayat executive officers, the local Tehsildar, block development officers. Also at district level, we interact with collector and district magistrate, and also project directors of DRDA. By doing this, we assess the requirements of the local people, and after assessing that, we see that whether their demands or their requests are actually falling within the ambit of the CSR schedule. And then we use certain metrics like village development index or multidimensional poverty index to rank the villages in terms of their deprivation, and also to select under which category they are more deprived in education or healthcare or infrastructure. By doing this, we plan our initiatives, and and like this we align our initiatives with the needs of the community. Because if we don't do this basic research, then we will be overspending our CSR budget in some activities which are actually not required, or or there are some needs which are of high importance, but we are spending very low in that. So for that, we do need assessment, where we involve all the stakeholders, starting from the villagers to our employees to the district administration. And through these composite indexes like multidimensional poverty index, village development index, we prioritize our activities, and by this we align our CSR interventions with the local needs.
Okay. This was quite exhaustive, like the information which you shared on how do you do stakeholder engagement while aligning with their needs. My next question to you is regarding implementation. So now, once the project has started, how do you, as a prominent CSR professional, measure and monitor multiple CSR programs?
Yeah. Monitoring is a key aspect again. Since I have been involved in a lot of projects simultaneously, to focus on each and every project individually is very difficult. But in order to uh, make our project successful, we have designed certain strategies. For that, whenever we tie up with an implementing agency, so while we sign a memorandum of understanding or an agreement with that implementing agency, we decide certain milestones, like quarterly milestones or annual milestones, and accordingly we disburse the funds to the implementing agency. And if the project is related to construction, infrastructure construction, in which civil engineers are involved, they have a three-level check measurements, from first level check, second level check, and third level check, and they give a time-bound work plan to the contractor, where it is decided where on which date you have to start the work, on which date you have to complete, on this month how much part of the project has to be completed. So this is how we monitor, and we also make our internal teams from different departments, so that there will be no biasness in monitoring. and we visit fields to check the progress of the project. And apart from that, sometimes we do projects on deposit basis. On deposit basis, we deposit the money to state government or an implementing agency. So for that, we make sure that we get utilization certificate against that funds that we have deposited, and that utilization certificate is being signed by a authorized chartered accountant in case of private or non-governmental organization. In case of government organization, it is the utilization certificate is given as per the general financial rules, which is set by government of India or state government.
Okay, so here is my next take on partnerships and collaboration. So you did mention a lot about signing MOUs with different implementing organizations, working with the state government. So could you maybe share a little bit more on these types of partnerships or collaborations that you have formed to enhance the impact of these CSR initiatives?
At the beginning, Coal India Limited has partnered with TISS, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai, as an advisory body to advise on the CSR activities that we need to take, and also they used to scrutiny the proposals that CIL sends them. But after that, there are currently around 196 CSR professionals posted in CIL. So there is in-house expertise. So right now we have not partnered with any outside agency for as an advisory role, but for doing impact assessment, baseline survey, and we have partnered with organizations like Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, Administrative Staff College of India, Hyderabad, National Institute of Rural Development, Hyderabad, Institute of Human Development, New Delhi. Uh, we have partnered with them to do impact assessment surveys and also baseline surveys. Last baseline survey was conducted by some research fellows from NIT Rourkela. So we have taken that report for planning our CSR initiatives. This is how we and for implementing any sectoral projects like livelihood and all, we collaborate with organizations who have expertise in that field. Like in the current project, ongoing project, comprehensive community program of Uthan, named Uthan, we have partnered with BIF. BIF is an pioneer in sector of agriculture and allied activities. So we have partnered with BIF for that.
Okay, thanks. So you actually answered one of my question that I was wanted to ask you, but it would be great maybe you could share a little bit more in depth regarding impact measurement. So you did mention that you have partnered with different organizations to measure the impact of your projects, but like has there been like how do you define these key metrics or indicators to assess the effectiveness of CSR initiatives? It could be in livelihood or it could be in agriculture. So could you maybe just share in brief like the overall process of evaluating the impact of any CSR program, maybe from inception to till implementation?
So for any CSR activity, the project cycle comprises of need assessment, which includes your baseline survey, and then designing and planning of the your CSR intervention, in which you have inputs. I mean the investment that you have to make. Then there are outputs, and then there are outcomes, and at the end there is at the long term there is impact or the long term achievement or macro goals. So in order to do an impact assessment, first of all we need to assign objectives of our project. I mean, what are our achievable objectives? So on the basis of that only we can do impact assessment. So I will share an example of impact assessment. So a team from IICA, they were given this job to do impact assessment. In MCL, we are doing impact assessment for projects over 1 crore value, and which has been completed for over 3 years, because impact has to impact measure, assessment takes place as a long term activity. So suppose the activity has completed in the year 2018, we do its impact assessment in 2021. So in Angul district, there was a road constructed of about 3 crores value. It was a 3.5 kilometer bitumen road, all weather road. So the IICA team, they were given the task of doing the impact assessment. So I will just walk you through the steps or the methodology that they have used. First of all, they selected a sample size for interaction, and they dealt with both quantitative and qualitative data. So for quantitative data, uh, they uh, they used SROI, that like social return over investment, where you can actually measure the outcomes, or you can put value to untangible outcomes. So they use this SROI to come down to a ratio where you can tell that for every 1 rupee invested, you have created this much social value. So for that project, the SROI ratio was 1:3. That means for every 1 rupee that our company has invested, 3 rupees of social value has been created. So in order to do that, they did a lot of one-to-one interaction with the local villagers. They did focused group discussion, and they also conducted one Gram Sabha, which was attended by around 50 to 60 people. In this, they wanted to measure the long-term impact of the project. So the I will take you through the entire process. So the construction of road, the inputs was like the materials that are required for constructing of road, the machinery, the labor, the contractor cost, everything, and the outcome was a well-built all-weather bitumen road. And now they have to measure the impact of it, how it has impact the road has impacted the local people. So after doing all the surveys, interviews, focus group discussion, Gram Sabha, they came to the following observations. One is due to after construction of this road, um, uh, a lot of small petty business has been set up in that road. So it has indirectly helped in income generation opportunities for the local villages. And earlier, due to the poor condition of the road, outside sellers were not coming into the village, like vegetable sellers or small scale businessmen. They didn't come to the village. But after construction of this road, many businessmen, they entered the village because there was proper road connectivity. And um, and this road, actually it was a very remote village, so this road became an interlinking to the outer market for them also. And the interesting fact is there was no e-commerce delivery happening in that village, but after construction of these roads, Flipkart, Amazon, they started delivering parcels over there. So this was how they measured the impact, long-term impact of this project in that particular project.
Thanks, Pabitra, for sharing this. We all, as you know, social impact professionals have been measuring, impacts of assessing the impact of maybe education projects, healthcare projects. But this was very interesting aspect of how do you measure the impact of an infrastructure-led project. So,
Yeah.
my final question to you is, like, you have been in the space for so many years. There have been must have been lessons or learnings that you have had from
Yeah.
different initiatives that you have implemented till date. So some like what have been some of your learnings that have shaped your approach in implementing your future projects in different locations?
Yeah, the most important learning for me is you have to involve stakeholders, the stakeholders from the beginning of the project. Even during planning of the project, you need to involve them. I will tell the importance of this through an example. We built a Kalyan Mandap, a full-size Kalyan Mandap of around 2 crores in a village in Talcher of Angul district, and we were very happy that such a big infrastructure is being developed, and people will be benefited from this. And after completion of that project, when we went to hand over that asset, we generally hand over the asset created in a CSR project to the local bodies, like Sarpanch or the block development officer, because after completion of the project, it is their asset and they have to look after it and maintain it. They refuse to accept, they refuse to take over the possession of that Kalyan Mandap. The reason being, there was no piped water facility in that Kalyan Mandap. There was no approachable road to that Kalyan Mandap. There was a lack of a kitchen shed in that Kalyan Mandap. There was no overhead water storage tank in that Kalyan Mandap. So they said these are the basic facilities we need to run an Kalyan Mandap, and without this, how would we even operate this Kalyan Mandap? So if you don't and you never you have never interacted with us, that how this Kalyan Mandap has to be built, what are the infrastructure facilities should be that, and that. So for 2 years that building was left unutilized, and after 2 years we again awarded another work to complete development of that Kalyan, and now it is operational. So had we done the same, had we interacted with the local villages or the stakeholders in the beginning of the project, then this problem might have been avoided. Uh, so this is one of my learning. Same another example I am giving with this stakeholder engagement. Now, skill development is right now a buzzword in every industry. Every firm who are dealing with CSR, they want to do skill development. So we have been doing skill development projects from the past 7 to 8 years. So we tied up with SIPET Bhubaneswar, and they used to come. We used to mobilize the community. We used to select the beneficiaries, and we would send them to Bhubaneswar. The training, everything was good. I mean, SIPET's infrastructure is world class. They do very good training. Yeah, and they also did placement of more than 80% student. But the problem is the trainees, they do get placement, they do get job offers, but since those companies are located in states of Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Gujarat, they are reluctant to go there, and if at all they go there, they come back to their residence within a month or two. So then we started interacting with them, and they said, "Oh, why you are leaving your organization?" They said that we want to do jobs in our local areas only. We don't want to leave our family and go to faraway places. So and the trades in which they were trained, they were not interested in those trades, because there was no scope of jobs in those trades in the local communities. So now in order to rectify that issue, we have tied up with NSTC. In this project, what we are doing is, first of all, we did a sample survey of around 500 unemployed youths, and we try to gather data regarding to their the trades in which they are interested. After that, we spoke with the local industries in Jharsuguda district. There is OPGC, there is Vedanta, there is Jindal, there is cement factories also there. There are iron ore factories. There are many industries in Jharsuguda district. and we try to find out what kind of manpower they require. So by aligning the interest of the unemployed youth and the market requirement, we have decided trades in which we will be training them, and we have built up our own vocational training center in Jharsuguda, so that people do not have to go to Bhubaneswar and all. They will be trained over there. We are planning for hostel residential facility also, and they will be trained in trades where they can be absorbed in the local markets itself, so that they don't have to go, they don't have to leave their families and go to faraway places. So this was another learning. Okay.
Thank you, Pabitra, for sharing your honest insights. So we all have had, learnings in the social impact space, and you sharing these, anecdotes, these feedbacks that you have received while implementing projects will go a long way in making people who want to join this sector, especially to gain, insights to learn more about how we should take stakeholders into consideration while implementing any programs. So I thank you again for taking your time and for joining us and sharing your journey till now. So thank you very much for your for your sharing of insights with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Binak, for having me. It was a pleasure interacting with you.